We oiling up at 25K.
What did he say?
Favorite position to be is definitely gonna be right behind the period. What's on YouTube, guys? Another video. If your day's not going good, I hope tomorrow is better. You're not subscribed, click the subscribe button, notification bell, or subscribe. Thank you for your loyalty. We are back with another Discord Q&A, man. It's been a little minute, about a month since we did this. The last one we did was before basketball season started, and now we're about halfway through basketball season, the regular season. So I mean, let's go ahead and lock in with another one. Without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. But before we jump into this, if you would like to be a part of an upcoming Discord Q&A, make sure you join the Discord server. The top link in the description down below. All you gotta do is join, ask a question in the Ask DTV channel, and there you go. It's pretty much that simple. Just tap in, join the community. All right, let's go. So first question coming in from Unknown. How can I find inexpensive equipment? I would never point you guys in the direction of cheap equipment to the point where like it's bad and you're probably gonna have to throw it out in the next month or two, whatever the case may be. Inexpensive, always go third party in terms of your lenses. That's the best thing gonna be able to do to get inexpensive, but it's still pretty expensive, but it's less expensive than its, you know, branded counterpart. So that's what you're gonna do there. You can also always go used. It's cheaper if you go like Facebook Marketplace kind of used, but it's a little more sketchy because you just never know the condition that things are actually in. If you go to like a camera store and go used, you can kind of at least certify that it's in better condition. So really it just depends on the type of risk you're willing to take on the used equipment in terms of how inexpensive things can be. Next, we have Xander coming in saying, for sports photography, should I get a Canon EOS R or an R10? To my knowledge, the R is better, but let's do a little bit of research. Look, let me show you how easy it is to answer this question, because I'm not a Canon user. So let's look at the specifications. So we got a 30 megapixel sensor on the EOS R. It's kind of crazy. It means you got a lot of room to crop in. You can shoot up to 8 frames per second. That's kind of mid for this camera, which I didn't expect. That's actually insane. 8 photos per second? That's actually really mid. Damn. All right, let's look at the R10. Let's look at the R10. So already we got 15 frames per second. So we're gonna go with the R10 off that one. What's the megapixel size? Oh, I'm sorry. With the electric shutter, it's actually 23 frames per second. Oh God, this is damn near a no-brainer. Oh, wow. And we got a 24 megapixel R10. Go R10. R10 coming in at 890, and the R is coming in at what? 1500. Bro, go with the R10. If you watch any of my videos, when it comes to like the camera you should be using, I have a whole video talking about the photography thing. I'm letting y'all know specs. It's that simple. That's a no-brainer. R10 all the way. So this question we got coming in from Nate. What is the point of buying rigs / making your camera more bulky? And a lot of videographers, I'm gonna be real, they do it for show. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They do it for show, and I can say that because I've been on both sides of it. And this photo here, whole rig. If y'all see any of my POV stuff now, or if somebody has ever seen me out at a game doing video, I don't have a rig. I just film. I'm sitting there with my camera in my hand, and I don't even have a monitor on. I'm just chilling. All that stuff, for some people, it helps, right? And in a lot of cases, things do help. Like if you have a cinema camera, some of that other, like all of those gadgets and stuff, some of it helps. But a lot of it is pretty excessive and kind of just for show, because you could still get the same quality with something a little more handheld and without all the rig. But some of it is actually effective. It really just depends on the shooter. And for me personally, I can't work with that bulky setup. The setup time is insane, and the reward for what you get from it, it doesn't benefit me that much. And actually, I choose not to when it comes to basketball videography, because I'm a way better shooter without all that stuff on there. That's pretty much your answer to it. For the most part, people are just trying to show off. Next up, we got this question coming in from Alex. How did you make the lighting of Annapolis Field look actually good? The lighting there is terrible. So these photos, yes, the lighting there was terrible. But I actually did a video talking about the low lighting, and I used it as an example there. So that's pretty much how I did it. This question we got coming in from Truzo. Cannot see your name, that's weird. What picture profile do you use for sports photography and videography? So for photography, I use picture profile 2. It's pretty much just a pretty flat, dull picture profile, nothing crazy. And then for videography, it just depends. If I'm recording in log, I'm in S-Log3, which is picture profile 8. If I don't feel like recording in log and don't want to transfer over all the log footage, which in basketball season I typically don't, I just record in regular picture profile 4 or 5, depending on the lighting. This question we got coming in from HY Flicks. This is Mr. Hudson Young, AKA Diddy. He is the Diddy personality in our chat. He started everything, and he asks, how much money / oil provided to oil up? 25K subs. We oiling up at 25K, so I mean, I don't know. That's what we agreed on stream, so yeah. Is the Tamron 70 to 180 2.8 good? I'm not really too sure. I don't know too much about it, but unless it's a significant difference in terms of price, I would suggest going with the 70 to 200 from Sigma. Just be aware that it is a little bit strange in terms of the way that you're supposed to turn the zoom part. It's like, it's completely opposite of what's normal for the lenses. But that lens does compare really closely to the Sony 70-200, and it's a lot cheaper. So I just don't know about the Tamron 70 to 180. This next question we got coming in from Matt. He says, do you have a highlight of my career shot? If so, which one is it? I don't really have a highlight of my career shot. I just have a highlight of my career moment, I guess you could say. And it was last year when I was away in Florida filming with the Florida National Guard. That moment is just, it's surreal because I feel like that's gonna be a staple in my career because I'm even supposed to be going there this year as well. But it was such a last minute moment. It was such a moment that it could have went a complete opposite direction if I just didn't take the opportunity, you know what I mean? So it just kind of showed me where I actually was in my career in terms of for somebody to be able to reach out to me for that. I was out there for a month and then I was grinding. So it was just that entire moment is like a highlight of my career to this point, for sure. Next up, we got Chandler. Have you ever used a 50 mil for any sports like pregame or something? No, I have never used I had the nifty 50 before, but I don't believe I've ever used it for sports. And if I did, I truly can't remember. I probably have, because I did have the camera. I mean, I did have that lens. I wouldn't recommend it though. I wouldn't recommend it unless it's the high quality 50 mil. If it is, then for sure, like you can definitely take warm-ups with it because you can just adjust where you are. But I don't really get the point of taking any photos unless you're doing close-up face shots at like a 1.2, 1.4, 1.8 f-stop. It just kind of doesn't seem like there's a point to it. Next question we got coming in from Mo. What are your future goals for your photography business? At this current point, I'm not too sure. I'm just trying to put myself in a position right now financially to support my family. That's currently about it. Support my family now, and then we'll worry about other things later. So I'm making sure the YouTube channel is good and everything I currently have going on with the business is trying to polish everything, and then we'll worry about like future endeavors. But it really just depends on what happens with the channel. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. Depending on what happens here with the channel will really highly determine on where I take the company. Next question we got coming in. I don't know how to say your name, but you said, what is the best way to get employed as a photographer or videographer? Have a really steep portfolio and just reach out to people. You never know who needs what kind of work, and you never know when you may, like what you may get hired for. You really never know. So just take every opportunity you can and put yourself out there in every chance you can, but make sure that when you do put yourself out there, you are ready. Have the portfolio, have the professionalism, have everything you need to have in order to present your way in the best way possible. This question we got coming in from Not JB. How does your shutter go so fast when taking pics? Mine is slow and I don't know how to change the settings for it. There's not a settings thing. It really just determines on how many photos your camera can take per second. Mine can take up to 30, which is a pretty crazy amount for a camera. Typically like a pretty below average camera can probably take like 5 to 8 frames per second. So you'll get a do. You know what I mean? It's gonna take them slow. It's not gonna take them that fast. It's not gonna take a lot either. So it's really just a camera thing. Unless you do have a setting on that you have to change it, but I don't even know what kind of camera you said, so it's kind of hard to tell. Next question we got shot by Vince. He says, I don't know if you answered this question before. How do you get permission to get into these high school games? I'm currently only getting in because I get these media passes from my school for an office, blah, blah, blah. If you're talking about other games, I mean, just try to get those media day passes as well. Even if you aren't a student at these schools, still try to get these passes, because if you're shooting for the school, you shouldn't really have much of an issue. That's the only thing I can say there. That's the best way. If you're having trouble or just want to avoid having trouble getting into any games, just get a media pass. That's probably the best thing you're probably going to be able to do. Just get a pass. Okay, next question we got coming in from, I also don't want to say your name. Damon, can you give me a 100 to 300 2.8? Yeah, bro. Honestly, when Sony gives it to me, and maybe not even then. If Sony gives me 2, I'll give you the second one, maybe. If you win it in a giveaway, because I'm definitely gonna host that first. So maybe I'll rig it for you though, who knows? Next question we got coming in from Seal. What's your favorite spots to be at while shooting baseball? I have a whole video on that already, but it truly just depends on the type of shot that I'm going for. My favorite position to be is definitely gonna be right behind the catcher. That way I'm able to just capture everything that's really going on. It's very rare that a field has like a good visibility for it, because sometimes there's a net, sometimes they'll tell you you can't even go back there, but that's probably my favorite spot to be, because you can get a really solid shot of the hitter, the pitcher, and somebody running from second to third, or somebody running down from home to first. Like or somebody running from first to second. Like you can just really capture everything. So if I had to pick one, that's like my favorite all-time spot. And then all my other spots, like I said, they are in the baseball photography video that I've already made. Next question we got coming in from JB. Do you ask the ump at baseball games to sit outside the dirt area, or do you sit outside the gate? I sit outside the gate. I just literally shoot through the gate. You can check one of my baseball POV videos. I always just shoot through the gate. It works out perfectly. That way I don't have to risk getting hit by a ball either, because that's not fun. What's a good sports videography lens on a budget? On a budget? Whew. Probably like gonna be the Tamron 25 or 28 to 75. That's probably the best I'm gonna be able to tell you. Or maybe like, I think there's like a 35 to 105 or something like that. Also Tamron, like some one of those two will probably have to be the best ones for you. Next question we got coming from Gamerman. Do you think Canon will be a good ecosystem to expand gear with, or should I get a different brand of cameras? I personally think Sony, that's just me, but you can't go wrong with Canon either. It's pretty much like Xbox to PlayStation. It's like kind of like that argument. It's the same thing, let's be absolutely for real. It just depends on what you want to get used to. I do believe that Canon lenses are a little more expensive, like the actual branded lenses, but there's third party for those too. So it's really up to you, man, truly. This question we got coming in from Default Plays. Is a third-party brand like Tamron f2.8 70-200 a good lens? I would assume so. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with it. I didn't even know they made a 70-200. I thought it was just 70-180. But Tamron is solid. I've used the 28-75 for years, and it's never failed me. It's been great the entire way through. Next question we got coming in from HY Flicks, Mr. Hudson Young, aka Diddy. Damon, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you love Diddy? And please play my music in this video. And finally, give me an FX9. You couldn't even say 6. You just jumped to 9. Cue the Diddy music. Cue the Diddy music. All right, and then we're gonna end it off here because I just realized this video is probably getting a lot longer than I think. We got the last question coming in from Roderick. Damon, are you just gonna focus on basketball this season, or are you gonna take flicks for other sports like wrestling or soccer? I didn't know soccer was a winter sport, but probably gonna just focus on basketball, if I'm being honest with you. I might try to get some wrestling in there, but the last time I did wrestling, like a POV video for it, it didn't really get that much love, I'm gonna be real. Like, not that many people were interested in it. It did good on Instagram, but I only did that because I was booked for that wrestling match, you know what I mean? So I don't really see me going out of my way to do wrestling. I do wanna do other sports, but bro, people love basketball. Like, I have to give the people what they like, and I love basketball. So it's, you know what I mean? That's pretty much just that whole thing there, man. Well, all right, we're just gonna go ahead and finish up there. There's probably like 10 to 15 more questions in there, but we're gonna save them for the next Discord Q&A. I'm gonna do these a lot more often. I kind of got wrapped up in just finishing up football season and the transition from football season to basketball season and all this other stuff. New Year's, blah, blah, blah. I know, I'm yapping. But like I said, we're gonna be doing a lot more of these. So if you would like to be featured in the next Discord Q&A, make sure you go ahead and join the Discord channel. Log in, ask your questions, whatever questions you may have. You've seen, no matter how outrageous they are, they have a chance to be answered. So just ask away. Other than that, I'm gonna go and get up out of here. I appreciate you guys so much. Once again, I appreciate all of you in the Discord server. At the time of recording this, we are at 1,300 members, over 1,300 members, which is, it's insane to me, bro. It really is. But I really appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like that channel. Check out that merch link in the description down below. Rep your favorite brand, or you can rep DTV merch. You can do that too. That's up to you. Check out that preset link in the description down below. And most of all, check out that Discord link in the description down below. All right, it's gonna be all for me. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much. Let me stay creative. See you next one. Peace.